Just as I suspected, it's the beginning of the next episode!
Is it the beginning of the next episode, Billy? Or is it the beginning of this episode? Are you saying that after the last episode ended, it went to the one after this and skipped this one entirely?
I suppose that really boils down to how you view time and the progression of events.
Speaking of time and the progression of events, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
We're really phoning it in. I mean, we squared.
And if you can figure out what I said, don't tell me I'm not interested. I'm the opinionator. What the heck are we even doing with these?
During the last episode, we had such a loving, tender, heartwarming mother-daughter moment in which Khura'in tried to beat down her daughter in practically every way but outright assault.
Speaking of outright assault, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
Wait, no, hold on a minute.
Oh, we already did that.
Also, what are you implying?
And to be just a tad bit more serious, the divination seance confirmed Inga's prosopagnosia, the face blindness.
You just like saying that word, admit it.
I always forget it. In 3 months, I will not remember the word prosopagnosia.
Not after this playthrough, I'm sure.
That's why I have to say it as many times, because maybe this time it'll finally stick.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, looks like the time is different than we all thought, and there might just be a problem with, like, Rafa's structuring of events, because Inga was already... like from Rafa's testimony, you know?
Right, she saw him head towards the tomb at like 2:30?
Right,
like
but
that?
we have evidence he was there.
Already, yeah.
I mean, the divination seance worked, so it was Inga. So the person who ran out and screamed couldn't have been Inga.
If he died at 2...
then you could channel him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we know someone who did channel.
What?
What better way to establish that someone was killed at a certain time?
Oh, that was Nana. That was Queen Amara that channeled Inga. Nana ran into Inga's residence and then came out as Inga screaming and ran to the tomb to look for Inga, who had previously been killed, as we see from the divination seance. That's why she screamed, and that places everybody in the right location.
Okay.
And it only works if Nana is Amara, which we've...
That seems to be the case.
I mean, Rafa is all but saying it constantly.
But why would she dress up as Inga and channel him?
I don't know why she dressed up as him.
Because that's kind of an important point.
Well, I don't know. But boy, it sure makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense. Okay, that dumb dog took my hat. In order to hide my identity, I will dress up as Inga and channel him. Wait, hold on.
We'll get to the bottom of this somehow.
Eventually.
More immediately, however, let's get back to the present or the future or the past.
Well, no, we'll be getting to the past in the next case.
I'm too confused. So... just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbod because it sounds like a lion.
Yeah.
You can't miss that.
Mimicry.
That means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from?
We're getting to that.
What significance could it have? She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from?
I would say it's very important.
Because we can place the time. It's actually very important, and we have the evidence to prove it.
Aha!
Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot.
Just as Daymon supposed.
But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area.
Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafa the real source of that sound.
Will do, as always. It's freaking Dot.
It's kind of amazing how involved he's been in all of these trials.
Those dragon snot snaps or whatever, shot snaps, whatever they're called.
It was snot.
Those he made them to cause havoc.
And that's what he did.
They have caused so much havoc. You know, Larry Butts is not in this game, but
I like to think his spirit is.
Dots may as well be the Khura'inese version of Larry. Well, Hornhead, I'm not listening to those two jokers, so I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound?
Whoops.
Now how do we prove that, though?
All these statements
Oh, yeah,
surprised
yeah.
by a firecracker.
What is that? It's I'll be your guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dot's a rebel threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar.
And it would make sense that Inga's underlings would be keeping an eye on Dots.
Yeah. Then, yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Oh, that's so weird! And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime.
Now, Your Highness, are you trying to say that there is zero possibility of someone picking up the gun after Inga died and firing it? Is that what you're trying to say?
A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, just like Billy said, we really don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? What we saw in the seance...
He passed out.
Died before we really knew. Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? Still interested in those other bullets, by the way.
Right?
No, I have none.
Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... Oh no! It can't be! I can hear him laughing in my head.
Oh, it can. And it is. It's not my fault. You can't blame me. But he is what he is. If something stinks, it's gotta be the rebel. Anyway, the laugh came from none other than... the Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. That happy-go-lucky Dot's a rebel.
That's certainly a way to describe him.
Oh, that is so stupid! Why does that guy keep coming up?
Someone should really put a leash on that guy.
So, right at the beginning of this episode, when I just, had the epiphany, we hadn't thought of any of that. We just chatted about what happened last time, so we, have it fresh in our minds, and I just feel really proud because we've been on the ball this time, huh? I'm happy when that happens, darn it!
I shudder to think how one man could be the cause of so much trouble.
That is a good thing you should do. Hey there, AJ! PW! Y'all can thank me later!
No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Rebel.
I saved the day! I'm the savior of Khura'in!
Well, after what you did in Maya's trial, you better have.
Sorry about that!
Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight?
It would appear so.
There's a lot in this one that needs to be taken care of.
The true source of that loud bang was the firecracker Dots threw. And that final laugh belonged to none other than Dots himself. Now you've got two statements to work with.
Well, this changes everything.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Let's go over the details of Rayfa's insight again.
Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. I mean, doesn't it have to be this one?
This does seem to be, but there's not a sensation that... Well, hold on, let's watch the whole thing first.
Right, but 3 p.m., that's the part that we can say is wrong now.
Correct. And we can use Albie's dog barking as the proof of that.
Maybe. See what we get. Because nothing...
The first two... the first one, the time is wrong, but we have to get to the point where we can point that out.
Right. Well, I think we're at that point now.
I believe you are correct. And then this one is true. Like, objectively true.
Yeah. That's true.
He did.
That's what happened.
That's also true.
That is correct. Now, there's nothing that we can do with these to challenge them because they're true. There's no sensation that contradicts them. Rather, this is what makes that true. That's why it's got to be.
Yes, I think we can use because we just brought up the testimony.
Yeah, we know about the testimony.
And we just established it was Dots who did all those things in Alby's testimony.
Yeah, we know when and where this stuff happened because of the firecracker and the Warbod's cry and everything. So it's like we have to be able to prove that 3 p.m. is wrong now.
The question is...
What sensation?
Which sensation? Because it could be Dots' laughter, it could be the explosion of the firecracker, or it could be the dog barking. I kind of want to say the dog barking because we haven't used it yet. Got yelled at by a dog and a Warbod. And then threw a firecracker.
Yeah, I think you're right about the dog. That's one of the reasons we took a hit, darn it!
I mean, it's just knowing when the game wants us to do it.
Now that we've established all this stuff about what happened, as it turns out, we know when that highly specific set of events occurred. But they still don't want the stinking dog bark!
Ah!
What do you want from us? Maybe firecracker? Maybe it is the explosion?
Okay, we'll give that a shot.
But what I'm saying is maybe the sensation is firecracker, but I don't know what the statement is.
Oh, that's what you meant.
The statement has to be true.
And so does this one.
Those statements are true, but it might be the new sensation.
Well, that's just it. The explosion and the laughter weren't revised. They're still the same.
I guess we just know what they mean now.
Yeah, it feels like trying to use fish tank to agree with fish tank.
Well, that's why I wanted to say use the explosion.
On this one?
No. On 3 p.m.
Okay, yeah, that was...
But I don't think it'll be laughter.
Okay.
Because just like with the dog bark, a dog can bark anywhere.
Okay, you're right, you're right.
But a Warbod calling like a lion, there's one place where that happens, and that's in the bazaar, like the square.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah, so here we have some firecrackers. It's not going to be right, I know. Oh no, they want me to say the incense smells funny or something.
Objection!
Oh, thank goodness! Your benevolence! I finally found one that you'd expect, even though in an actual court, I can take any of these points and be fine. There's a glaring problem with this insight.
Apollo, don't be so harsh.
Oh, there is. You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence.
That we're going to reveal again. I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. That is my role.
Did none of you ever read this stinking statement?
Present the newspaper.
It is the newspaper, because it establishes so many things.
Take that!
I'll be your guide's statement again?
For the 8th time! Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard.
Around 2 p.m.?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
That's right, 2 p.m.
Oh, I see, it's 2 p.m.
Not 3 p.m.
Not 3 p.m.
3
2
p.m.
Could it have been 1 p.m.?
No, not 1 p.m. 2 p.m.
All right, I think I understand.
Not 3 p.m. What the hell is wrong with you people? What the hell is wrong with you people? Are you suggesting...
I'm about to gouge out the frickin' desk.
I think, especially after listening to BSG yell this point out over and over, I think you know where I'm going with this.
Hopefully not the executioner's head or block.
Hopefully not. Dots's laugh, the cry of the warbod that sounded like a lion, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Alby's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all these sounds.
It's because they all happened at around the same time. Each individual noise could have been explained away, but they all happened in order with the statement.
Right. There's no way that extremely specific set of circumstances can be explained away.
Right.
Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2, not 3.
2, not 3.
Not 1 either, Your Majesty.
Not 1. Yes, I'm very sorry. Time zones.
As we had originally thought, that sentence kind of fell apart, but that's okay. Dare I ask? The conclusion you're drawing is really... It means the murder took place...
At 2 p.m.?
Not 3 p.m.
Oh, I got it right.
A full hour before Dirk entered the tomb! Pokunka! How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken?
I feel like our lives are in... Oh!
I shall have him back in a second.
Yeah.
Now you see why justice will always prevail.
And why I'm always right. Huh?
Not 3 p.m.
Not 3 p.m.
Not 3 p.m.
Peace! Peace, I say! Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision except for the face. How do you explain that? Propagnophasia or whatever it's called?
Yeah, propagnophasia. I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, didn't we make a big deal about the figure didn't actually have a face?
It's time to get to it. Oh, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was.
Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright. Which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. Rafa saw him come in. We know where he was.
So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference?
That it changes everything.
Not 2 p.m. Oh, no, it was 2 p.m.
Wait,
I'm so confused.
Wait, 2 o'clock, not 3 p.m. Oh, I'm getting confused now. That's when... my mother was performing the rite of channeling.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you go into detail about that? Aha!
The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me. The royal residence, it would have been virtually unguarded. Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. They're gonna accuse Alby.
Oh, God! What? Come on! Defense! Are you saying 2 p.m.?
Not 3 p.m.!
That this is someone disguised as the accused?
That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Oh, nice of you to join us.
Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance or something. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been as clear as day.
But it didn't, because the person what did it knew it wouldn't.
That's the only way to make it make sense.
Grammar.
He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, Why? It's almost like somebody knew the legal system and was trying to set something up,
Again.
especially if they knew about a certain condition that Inga had. But like you said, set it up for the seance to fool it again.
Apollo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold. Because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision.
You know, Mr. Wright, I think you're right. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga precisely because they knew they could get away with it.
I agree. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that?
A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder.
Yeah, it's like nobody knows about this, and it's so flarking rare.
That impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? It would certainly explain that notebook.
Yeah, the notebook describing people that he knew. Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world?
Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case, we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life.
I wonder what it would look like. Of course you'd actually see the face, but it's like trying to distinguish between the faces of like 3 dogs of the same breed. Dogs can do it.
Right.
But we can't. I mean, we can see it if it's obvious, but if they're the same breed, the same size, the same markings, and the same age, we're not guaranteed to. Like, realistically, if you have this disorder, you probably can distinguish between some faces.
Right.
But it's just like your ability is...
I doubt they actually appear faceless, but that is how I've often seen it depicted in fiction.
Which makes sense. It makes sense, because that communicates the idea.
I've seen it several times in horror, and oh god, it's so disturbing the way they depict it in those...
In fact, I don't even know why I'm going on about this.
Well, it's such an interesting thing.
I just think it's fascinating. It's like if a normal person's ability to distinguish faces is 100, and maybe somebody super observant or something can train it up to 115.
I don't know why you would need it past 100.
Investigative work.
Fair point.
Something like that. Or media. Like
Gotcha.
if you're a journalist, you might need to be able to instantly recognize people in a variety.
Yeah.
You know, the ability, if somebody with this disorder, it's probably not actually 0, but like 10. But 10 is 90 less than 100. How fascinating. Who cares? Let's go on. Okay, so let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But...
if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need.
Thanks, Mr. Wright. I mean, we saw it instantly. Really? Why do you say that?
Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court?
Sure do.
That seems to be my only role in these trials.
Yes? Mr. Wright says I do. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. There is something that there's only one way to explain its existence.
What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in his seance vision?
Take that!
A notepad describing the characteristics and physical appearance of people he's close to.
A notepad describing the physical characteristics of people he's close to.
Not 3 p.m.
Not 3 p.m.
Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics.
And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer. How?
Phoenix is one thing,
Hey.
but Nana was his servant for how many years? And Dirk is his arch enemy that his life is devoted to catching? How does he need a reminder of what they look like? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him.
What's this?
I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Boy, that is really strange now that I think about it.
Ah, that's why she wears the hoops.
Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you?
There's no way she couldn't.
He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you said. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia, or pagsoprofacenot, or something, whatever Billy said. It was kind of funny, honestly.
Shut up.
So Mr. Wright was right!
I'm always right. Is that joke getting old yet? No, okay.
The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. What am I talking about? What is... What? I mean, she's clearly saying the memories of other people who are afflicted with some type of cognitive disorder are gonna look weird.
So doesn't
in the
that mean
divination
she has some experience with this?
But what she was specifically saying sounds like she has specific experience with this. But
So...
that couldn't have been what she meant. That's why I was like, what? What?
Yeah!
There is precedent for this.
So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage.
Right. So there's someone who's both knowledgeable about the divination seance
Go on.
and aware of Inga's extremely private affliction.
Uh-huh.
Now I'd be remiss if I didn't point out, Your Eminence, that of these extremely rare conditions, for both of them to have been present, there is one person that I can think of that meets these requirements.
You're right, it was Dot's a rebel.
Who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely, you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime. Though I guess I was happy to see the bastard gone. Oh no, Your Eminence! Still, could she have done it?
Apollo, look at her. Khura'in has an alibi, remember?
She looks so amazingly innocent, though. All right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m., wasn't she? In that case... And this is, of course, where we had to go next.
Yeah.
Your Eminence, does Nana, who surely doesn't have some bullets in her, know about Minister Inga's disorder?
She kind of have to. She's his personal servant.
Of course she does. She is our head servant. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition.
And as his assistant...
And as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. All right, Rafa, let's drag through the mud everybody that you know. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
The nails are back.
Oh, I saw him a second ago. You witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts. No, I'm pretty sure I haven't forgotten any facts, but what kind of facts are you talking about? When Inga was last seen alive. You claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. It must have been somebody else on the phone with some other firecrackers going off, with some other dots laughing, and some other warbod mimicking a lion, with some other dog barking, all in the exact same order.
You know, there was that royal guard who sounded like him.
For Rafa saw him at 2:30. You know, I'm actually beginning to be slightly... Ah!
We did completely forget about that.
Surely this is just second, like pre-second guessing, second pre-guessing, backing off after getting ahead of myself to the place where I'm
Rebounded
supposed
guessing?
to be. Yeah, anyway, what if it isn't Garan? We've been saying it was Garan for like how many episodes now?
Well, could have been Amara.
There's no way, it has to be Garan. But I'm just starting to doubt it. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m.
Not 2 p.m.? Now I'm getting really confused.
I'm telling you, that idiot's laugh may sound a certain way, but there must be some fool like him, his evil twin brother, throwing firecrackers next to some other war bond.
Ah, yes, not a rebel.
Not a rebel! The only person in the rebel family who can credibly claim to not
He's
be
the
a
royal
rebel.
guard.
The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There is no other answer to this puzzle. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up laws?
Because the game forces us to provide evidence, not them. Yes, it's back to square one.
You can't just ignore that! Where did we go wrong? Maybe there's something funny involved, like spirit channeling in this country of spirit channeling.
I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, all we have to do is refute this, and then we're back to not 3 p.m.
Our deductions so far explain everything to a T.
That can't be wrong!
Everything except for Inga sighting at 2:30.
Can I say can't some more? Because I'm apparently saying can't.
No, you can't.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I see. And without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart.
Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture.
Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he had been killed.
Are you sure about that?
I realize that's ridiculous, but we have to let it out, right? We have to establish that fact. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive? Again, highlighted a way to make people think he was alive, even though he was dead.
Like a way to make people witness the living dead?
The dead don't tell lies, except the dead have already told lies and been a hostile witness in court.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Find whoever's channeling him! That's our killer! Sounds like some kind of TV show or video game. Things like that don't happen in real life.
Don't be preposterous.
Let me use my spiritual power to zero in on what people are thinking. Oh, I finally put it together!
Apollo, did you just put it together?
I did put it together.
Oh, you put it together?
Not 3 p.m.
Yes, it's 2 p.m. I still got that.
I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. George Romero movies.
The Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m. and Garan trying to confuse you, he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30. And I'll tell you how!
I certainly hope you will. I'm so confused. Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
You are all Khura'inese! The Minister Inga, her benevolence saw, was in fact someone channeling
A
him!
ghost or clone!
What?
Wagebushin no Jutsu!
It was the deceased being channeled.
What? That's preposterous. No one can do that here.
It's the only way a man who is already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say?
Okay. The reason that Inga was like came out and yelled as he was like, "My God, I've been killed!" and ran back into the tomb to find his body.
There you go! That makes so much sense! Because it's not like the person who channels them has control of them. They take over once they're channeled, and that's the perfect way to make them run there. And then when he gets there, she just unchannels him.
Or something like that?
Or something? Yeah.
So that means after being killed, Inga confronted...
His own death.
And I guess Dirk walked in?
Well, that was around 3.
Sure, but what I mean is, did Dirk see Inga after Inga had been killed? Like Inga's body?
Well, he has no memory, so we don't know if we don't know.
Maybe maybe because he saw Inga's body and Inga's body?
Maybe?
And it's his wife that's channeling Inga's body, and then there's Inga's body, and it's sort of like Back to the Future, where it causes Back to the Future 2, space-time continuum, timey-wimeys, and that's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Khura'in. Her Eminence Queen Khura'in and Maya Fey.
So you're saying Maya killed him?
It is just those 2, right? I feel like that might be an important point to make sure that there isn't anybody else, such as somebody that we already know is still alive, who was in fact a previous queen when the queen channeled spirits. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime, especially you, BSG.
Look at you.
My appearance is perfectly innocent. Now, let me strangle some puppies and rip out their still beating hearts.
Okay, Femme Bison.
Prosecutor. Well, Rose was Bison's love interest?
Yes, that was in fact the joke I was going for there. I'm glad you caught it.
Well, somebody has to, because that's a really specific joke, relying on Street Fighter Alpha plot in 2018.
Alright, that's a fair point.
Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence.
Don't scratch my scroll.
I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too. Mayuta has to keep up with her schedule, too? What doesn't she make him do?
Then that leaves only Maya.
Yeah, it does. The hell was she doing in Inga's house?
Well, he was holding her hostage.
I guess that's true. So I'd forgot, I'd really forgotten that, just hadn't been thinking about it. She didn't appear to be in the tomb at 2, but she certainly was at 3.
Well, where she was sitting and tied up was never in his field of vision. Though you would think she'd be making... No, not if he had her knocked out.
So Nana ran into Inga's house and found Maya, who channeled Inga?
No, I don't think we need to focus on that right now.
No, you're right. It's just sure weird. Anyway, yeah, we're thinking 8 layers ahead and behind simultaneously. Sorry, there was a burp that came in at a weird time. So I said simultaneously.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward nefarious ends?
Like maybe someone who had her hostage?
The real killer could have been threatening her?
I don't think this is the right track at all, but...
That cannot be!
So then, Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world, just like you said. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died.
So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he just had a nightmare. Then realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead.
Then 2 p.m., right? Oh, Benevolence really did see a dead man running.
Oh! What a horrible life!
Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime?
Again!
That's what I was going to say. How can this be? Again!
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand.
We'll sort something out that way. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
Hey, come on! It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments.
That we've already poked holes in.
In the face of my infallible arguments. Come, let me see your heart.
Kalima! Kalima!
That's where I was going, yes. Insult me all you want, witch. But you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth and come up with some way to pin this on you after all.
Very well. Let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. She was recovering in the hospital after all. Talk about some really close shave.
Don't I know it? Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsman's brand blades, that's for sure. Go to www.headsmansshavingrazors.com and use promo code BSG to get absolutely nothing.
Because we're not sponsored by these people, and I don't even think they exist.
It's just Headsman's brand blades. It's pretty good, actually.
The trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted. But I appear to have the stamina of an 80-year-old, so... Still, you were able to fight back the queen herself in there.
Well, maybe with Miss Fey's help, I won't have to keep on playing her game much longer. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright?
She slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently. But that's all it was, so she should be okay.
I guess she's sort of used to people around her being murdered at this point. Bobbed head, horned head.
What? Nothing about me? You can call me Spidey Head.
Spiderhead! Oh, hello, your benevolence.
Princess Rafa, you were really impressive in there.
She really was.
Yeah.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Khura'in. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
She's just had to put up with so much.
Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground. And in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as the royal priestess.
It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path.
Well,
So-
that's what friendship is.
You have my gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. I know. I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow? A horse?
Can we get a warbot?
Or perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage.
Oh.
After all the beating on us you did last time about you being 14, I think I'll pass on the massage. Your gratitude is more than enough, though, I mean, I wouldn't mind a horse. You give me a pony. But I thought you Americans liked massages.
Who doesn't like a good massage?
My technique was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know.
That's kind of saying something, considering his horrible back pain.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you! Lawyers! Where's the accused?
Whoops, I'm out of here!
Huh? Dirt? You know, come to think of it, that is a good question.
Alley-oop! That's...
He hadn't seen anything of him hide nor hair in some time. I blew it big time, AJ.
That's how I try and whistle.
Oh, this is really hard. I should just whistle instead of make this dumb face. Oh, good. It's Dots. Shut up, you! What's going on? The scoundrel tried to escape with the accused. What? Why'd you do that? We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant?
Dots!
I keep telling you, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but I lost track of him after that. So Dirk's on the lam now in his own trial? Probably, but who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye.
That or he was kind of nabbed up by the royal guards, maybe.
Well,
He just doesn't seem like the type to...
he's escaped from prison.
Yeah, but when his son is defending him, it just seems kind of out of character for him.
I don't know, maybe this is how he's been able to make it for so long.
Maybe.
Vanished? You want to know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, and I'll say this right in front of the bailiff, I can't put Amara in danger. I have to set her free before it's too late.
Okay.
So it was just like we thought.
Oh, you mean we're here trying to call Nana to the stand, and now Dirk is motivated to go free Amara.
What? Don't tell me he's gone to rescue her. But that's what I am telling you! It's why I helped him escape in the first place! Dots! Do you realize what you've done? I mean, we totally lost the moral high ground here.
Which is saying something.
Well, I mean, what's done is done. Still, why'd he choose to go rescue her now? Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. Or maybe Billy might have said something. Just in case he ended up on the chopping block. Why, Dirk? Is there something really important that you had strenuously avoided telling me?
Ah, the truth.
I thought you believed in me.
Same here.
Aw, don't be like that, AJ! He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara, you'll see! That's not the point, Dots. Listen, lawyer! You let us know immediately if the accused contacts you!
Oh, sure, man. Yeah.
The trial will now resume! See that you're ready! Wait, the trial's still on? Even without the defendant? Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once!
Oh, God. Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads.
Just continue to hang on by the seat of our pants, but at least we more or less know where they're going. Though I suppose when it comes to this specific point, like what Maya was doing, we really don't have any idea of what was happening.
You're right. Now then, let us resume the trial at hand.
Your Majesty, my, client seems to have gone missing.
Yes, I know.
I just want to be on the record here saying that I oppose this action and think that my client should have remained here.
I also agree with this. What do you think, Your Eminence? Should we proceed without the accused?
Why not? He keeps running off every other time we've caught him. My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, for they would not dare to keep me waiting. That's the reason?
Well, yes, but what about the law governing court proceedings?
Oh, a law governing things? Hasn't I already made it clear? I shall simply revise it, temporarily.
I am writing with the blood of my victims.
As ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following.
Every Tuesday shall be Taco Tuesday.
Should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with proceeding.
That is absolutely horrible. That's just like putting on show trials to condemn every one of your enemies because they don't even have to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like what happens is you convict them in a completely bogus court proceeding where they're not even there, and then they're also convicted of further crimes, and so it's like you see them and you now have legal authority to shoot them on the spot or something
Lord.
like that.
Will the witness, Miss Maya Fey, please approach the stand?
Oh man, it's another character voiced by Daymon. It's like they didn't quite plan this out properly when it came to the final trial.
How could we have known? Sorry to summon you like this, Maya.
I mean, if we would have asked somebody would have told us, but we didn't want to know.
Yeah, because that would have colored, like...
Everything.
That would have colored everything.
Getting dragged out of bed and into court isn't exactly a fun wake-up call, Nick.
Well, we might be asking you to channel also.
Oh, joy. I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It was my idea.
Blame Apollo.
Huh? And you are... who exactly? All right, we've never met. I'm Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you, but I bet you've never even heard of me. Oh, so you're Apollo. Nick's told me all about you. You're the new guy with the loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right?
Excuse me, there is a trial going on, everyone.
And besides, after how many years you're still the new guy? There's even someone newer than you and you're still the new guy? Boy, it sure sucks to be you, Apollo. Unreliable, rookie, new guy?
Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since.
Mr. Wright, thank you so much. So, why was I called here anyway? You're not really gonna make me do spirit channeling, are you? Am I under arrest again?
Huh?
I guess no one's filled her in.
Man, we really dropped the ball, didn't we?
I'm totally under arrest, aren't I? I bet I'm under consideration, like I'm the prime suspect, aren't I? I'm so used to this.
Well, she has been asleep this entire time.
Okay, Mr. Wright, Apollo, just show that I didn't do it yet again, please. Counting on you.
Just already falling into the mindset.
Miss Fey, this is a trial for Dirk Sadmati, not you, and you're here as a witness. What? Why? Dirk's been arrested? But... That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting.
She did say he saved her.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Miss Fey, you are suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga.
Oh God, it's true! This time it's true again! No! I just get so tired of this crap!
Miss Fey, there.
What is this? Like the 7th time or something?
Are you regularly accused of killing?
Yes! This is... Your Majesty, you've seen me in here accused of being a murderer again.
Oh, you're right.
After so many times, what do you people think I finally snapped and decided to do it this time? If you accuse me enough, it's suddenly gonna become true? I haven't killed people like 7 times. Why do you think this one's any different? Why would I start? Oh, God!
Bailiff, get this woman some grape juice to calm her down.
Okay, well, I feel better now after letting all that out. Let's get back to the matter at hand. What?
Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate the time of his murder. Right? At least that is what the defense claims.
Oh my God, that is so stupid. What? Oh, could you, Apollo? How did you even reach that conclusion?
Oh God, the puffy face.
Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense, is to accuse you, Miss Fey, of murder.
We call it possess under duress.
Hey, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just came up with it.
If Mr. Wright tells jokes, will you ever forgive him? No.
Your understandable anger at the defense aside, will you testify, Miss Fey?
Well, I'd better. Yes, Your Majesty. At least it wasn't Nick. I'll always have a bad impression of you, Apollo. I'll never forgive you. So I don't have any idea what's going on, okay? But I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan.
I can believe that.
I certainly have the experience. No, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
Well, that didn't really explain anything. It seems
What?
the witness doesn't believe she has ever channeled Justice Minister Inga.
And if her words prove to be true, defense, your entire argument becomes moot.
You're moot!
You do understand that, don't you? Yes, of course. Although I still don't see why my indisputable facts lose to your fact.
Because she's the queen.
And the prosecution. And the judge.
No, I'm the judge.
Doesn't seem like Miss Fey is lying.
Apollo. Maya was being awfully secretive about something just now.
You think she'd stop doing that? Then I guess I'd better dig a bit and try to get her to open up to me first. Though I'm sure she hates my guts. I hate all of you people.
Hold it!
But do you really hate us?
What do you mean, hold it? You've been asleep ever since you were rescued from the tomb, correct? I was exhausted after being held captive for so long.
Apparently starved or some craziness.
That must have been terrible.
Maya, Minister Inga didn't do anything to you, did he?
Oh, no, it wasn't like that. On the contrary, I asked him for all sorts of things, and he gave them to me mostly.
Like what?
My freedom! Like, I'm really craving burgers, and I'll die if I miss an episode of The Plumed Punisher.
Well, a lot of similarities with his daughter, I suppose.
You're right! Acting like a brat, netted me a TV, and even a few burgers from someplace. It's like he was predisposed to giving it somebody making unreasonable demands.
Well, we have Princess Rayfa to thank for that.
He was surprisingly nice to me.
Huh? Are you sure we're talking about the same guy here? I mean, I know I'm not a young, attractive lady, but...
He may have loomed large, but he was unexpectedly easy to push around.
That doesn't mean much coming from you, psycho lady.
Gee, maybe if Dirk was a woman, he'd have a harder time, like, opposing her. Even though he's the one Yep,
you're right.
Even though he's the one who was responsible for pushing those execution papers through. Oh, that. Approving executions was simply his preferred method of stress relief.
That's kind of jacked up.
He was always under stress about his home life for some reason. Yeah, well, with a wife like her, he was probably really pushing them through out of fear.
Oh, we didn't even really consider that angle. I'm beginning to see why he wanted to stage a coup. Even though we don't believe that letter is factual.
To be so henpecked and by your wife and dissatisfied with your wife, you're willing to stage a coup to take over the entire country?
Women, am I right, fellas?
In any case, my time in captivity wasn't so bad, but of all the things that happened... I know I didn't channel Minister Inga! How many people have you accidentally channeled? Do you think you can accidentally channel someone? Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling Minister Inga. Don't remember? I may be 28, but I'm not senile, you know? Damn it. 28's not frickin' old.
It isn't.
Something's not right here. She's only a few years older than me. That means I'm gonna go senile in 4 years. Mr. Wright's practically an ancient, decrepit man.
Eh?
Miss Fey, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct? Yes, but I wasn't conscious the whole time. Okay, then let me ask you something. What happened to the TV after you were done watching it?
Hey, you're right, the TV is missing.
She only asked for the Plume Punisher.
He may have just taken it out when the show was over, I don't know.
Did you ever see Nana in the tomb? Dressed as Dirk? What? Is this some kind of joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that.
Also, I think it'd be pretty hard for Nana, with her current build, to come across as Dirk.
And that doesn't matter, though. Remember how you just gained the...
That's true.
No, I'm talking about spirit channeling. You're right.
Well, no, I was foregoing spirit channeling.
And I was, which you... And I was defaulting to it, but it couldn't have been that, so...
Unless she was spirit channeling. I'm just saying if she hadn't done that, it would be really obvious.
No, you're
you're
absolutely right. That's why I said, what am I talking about? I'm full of crap.
Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that right in front of a potential witness.
I hate when he's right. I want to be right. I want to win. Me. I didn't even have a chance to do something like that. You didn't have a chance to channel him? Does channeling someone take a long time?
I mean, it really doesn't.
Not really, especially for me, who's essentially the best channeler in the world at this point. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. That's pretty funny, huh? So there is no way for me to make the channeling mudra with my hands to do it.
Ah, I see.
All right, the mudra.
Not 3 p.m.
I guess she really didn't channel Inga then. Can it accidentally happen?
Maya, when mediums are done with the session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right? I don't know why I'm asking this, I've seen it.
Well, in order to...
Oh, to establish it.
Sure, unless they're still in training and have, kind of a weaker level of spiritual power or something. Amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes, which happened to me. And a super powerful will may be able to overpower somebody who is, less than perfect, which has happened to me sometime. But full-fledged mediums, which I finally am, can stay in total control of the session. And they can send the deceased spirit away anytime they want. Creepy, having somebody else in your body and your body becoming someone else's body, but being aware of it the whole time, consciously aware.
Luxurious mane of hair.
Okay, that's pretty creepy. So I take it you can do that too, Miss Fey? Of course! It's a search for the new and improved mystic Maya Fey, a spirit medium.
The spin-off game that's coming out this season.
I'd play it.
That's strange. You seem like the same old childish Maya to me.
I'll show you, childish Nick!
Oh man, you're really showing me with that puffy cheeks.
Besides, I never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. I have way more experience in this than you can even imagine. So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes? I have to go through this to get this established. Of course not! Spirit channeling's my bread and butter. What do you think I'm doing in this country?
Yeah!
And I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo? Well, I guess there was my debut game where I wasn't doing anything but poor Mr. Right.
We don't talk about that.
Until finger pointing and objecting become deadly, I don't see how they can be used, except unless I blow somebody to pieces with my voice. Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty Pants, just like Nick.
It's a ladder.
Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback.
I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial.
It's a stepladder. Or was it the other way around?
I don't remember.
We even looked it up, because I couldn't remember who was on Team Ladder and who was on Team Stepladder.
That's fine.
I guess they could argue each other's point after so many years. Yes, please! Anyway, I'd never go along with something like murder. Though I guess there are some things I go quietly along with. It sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Miss Fey. Didn't anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo?
You're in a murder trial, sweetie.
After so many times on the stand, I'm still lying and hiding things? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs. Hey, that was alliteration just for you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Never mind. I guess we're done with this cross-examination. We're in a court of law. Yeah, I know. I've been on this stand so many times. I'm totally comfortable here.
It's like a second home.
Then what was all that about me being rude? I'm just doing my job. Just like Nick. So please, just tell me, what exactly are you hiding? I'm sorry, but
She may be protecting Amara.
you'll have to throw evidence in my face. I promised Dirk I wouldn't say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just like you said, Billy.
Okay.
You made a promise to Dirk. Uh-huh. And it is absolutely and totally not about something that BSG figured out a long time ago, or his wife.
I mean, the murder had already happened after all, by the time the supposed posing as Inga happened.
Yeah.
So there would be some things she'd go along with, but she wouldn't go along with murder. Wait! But if she was always in the temple, she would have had to have been moved to Inga's residence by like Amara or something.
Yeah, I don't
that
think
to
it was.
happen.
I
Yeah.
don't think it was Maya.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Maya doesn't think it was Maya, but the point is,
But there is something here.
we're gonna beat the secret out of her or something like that.
I think this is about all you're going to get out of her.
Yeah, I guess so. Enough! The witness is denying that she channeled any spirits. Further questioning is pointless.
Oh, but you'll indulge us anyway, won't you?
It appears your little fiction has been soundly exposed for what it is. You should listen to her, Apollo.
Whose side are you on?
You shouldn't have accused me of murder! I don't even know why you suspected me in the first place. It's not like I'm one of only two people, not two people in this country capable of channeling spirits. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you?
I guess we don't have any evidence.
Well, I didn't think she did from the beginning.
I wanted to check to make sure, see if we could piece something together.
Oh, well, I guess we tried, and there's no point in even thinking about it, really.
Wow.
I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind.
Why did you say such an incriminating statement? That's true. Just like when she channeled the High Priest. All Maya needs is her own body. If the defense has no evidence to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination.
She wasn't a witness, denies it, then there's no evidence linking her to anything, so maybe it means that we were barking up a wrong tree, and that what we really did was establish or eliminate one of the three, not two people.
2 p.m.?
Yeah, that people from contention. Couldn't have been her, so
Okay.
there's only 2 left. What now? Even if she doesn't use any special items to do the channeling itself, you'd think there would be something to complete the deception.
Is there any proof that Justice Minister Inga was channeled?
Okay, so this isn't the question that I was thinking it was. Rather, this question is there proof that he was channeled? Which he was.
Yeah! But how do we prove it?
That seems irrelevant.
Well, he never walked over to that burner. From where he was sitting to where he died, he never got over to that incense burner.
It doesn't look like he got shot. But you don't get channeled in with clothes.
Well, no, but that was his place of residence. He obviously had spares. These people only ever wear one thing.
Sure, but we can't see the front of his shirt, so we can't see if that was the gemstone there. But it's like we have to be able to come up with something, don't we? Because if we say there wasn't any proof, doesn't that mean we lose?
Or it could be one of those say no and then we have to find it.
Would you still have your own back pain if you're channeled?
That's a good point.
I guess you would, because
Yeah.
Indy was still as flexible and was able to do his stuff.
And he would still have Proprogno the Mesopotamia.
Proprogno mame Mesopotamia yay. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Doesn't have anything to do with Inga. I think even we can't wrench any more out of that statement. But if we had the newspaper...
Oh man, that newspaper. This is also not relevant.
It's not like it doesn't have anything to do with Inga. Oh man, looking through that reminded me. If the sins of the father are visited upon the child, what about Rayfa? She's going to be widely viewed in Khura'in as being just as guilty of what her father did, especially considering that he doted on her.
Yeah, so she's...
Well, then again, who knows whose father she'll have.
Regardless of who's her actual father.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She's boned either way.
Yeah.
And this can't have anything to do with it.
I guess there isn't any. We tried to come up with some proof that he was channeled. He was channeled, though. We tried real hard, but I don't think we do. That is right, isn't it? Now I see you still got a long way to go, Apollo, if I could fool you so easily. Excuse me. If it were Nick, he would have tried to bluff his way through that one, instead of be honest and worry about the truth. But I'm not Mr. Right, and I actually don't think he would have done that. I'm gonna say there was evidence then. As to whether there is any proof that Minister Inga was channeled, you bet there is!
Okay.
Really?
Well, no. You're bluffing, I take it?
Of course I am! I'll be back in the next episode. But also I'm fine! Been a while.
Objection! You're